Hi, this is Nana Hosenfeld with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Sunday, September 19th, 2021. Looking at fire potential impacts over the next 3 days, today we will have a cold front moving through the area that will bring wetting rains and mountain snow to the northern part of the Great Basin. You can see those areas on the map in blue. Further south, we will see showers and wet thunderstorms, and we are looking at some gusty winds with low relative humidities across the far southern part of the area. As we move into Monday, those impacts decrease quite a bit. We are still looking at those colder conditions across western Wyoming and the potential for some mostly wet showers and thunderstorms across the central Idaho mountains. And then moving into Tuesday, no significant impacts on the map. Looking at the near surface smoke forecast for today, conditions are looking pretty good. Not too many areas of the Great Basin looking at surface smoke impacts. And then looking at the total smoke forecast, again, portions of Utah and southern Nevada and into the central Idaho mountains, looking at the potential for some smoke impacts, but nothing too significant across the Great Basin as far as large areas impacted by smoke. Over the past 24 hours, we did have quite a bit of precipitation across the Great Basin. You can see a good portion of Idaho saw precipitation with the cold front moving through, as well as some showers and thunderstorms across the central and southern part of the Great Basin, and a pretty impressive amount of lightning associated with those storms. A few new fires popped up across the area yesterday, and it looks like those line up well with the areas that we did see that lightning. Looking at precipitation over the past 7 and 14 days, this is compared to normal, and it does not include yesterday's precipitation. Things have been a bit drier the past 7 and 14 days across the Great Basin. For much of the summer, we did see really good precipitation across the central and southern part of the Great Basin, and that pattern has dried a bit across the south. ERCs are still below the 50th percentile across much of the central and southern part of the area, and those are trending downwards. Further north, ERCs are still well above normal, with many areas in the central Idaho mountains showing ERCs above the 80th and 90th percentile. However, with the cooler and wetter conditions expected today and tomorrow, we would expect those ERCs to drop down a little closer to normal. Live fuel moisture reflects precipitation trends pretty well. You can see sagebrush moisture right around average across the eastern half of the Great Basin, with those sagebrush live fuel moistures below average across much of Nevada. Looking at the charts, you can see Pocatello is above normal for the time of year. That is that green dotted line. But Adobe Creek and Mitchell Canyon in Nevada below normal, with Mitchell Canyon below record low values. Satellite this morning shows that large upper low moving into the Great Basin that will move a cold front through the area today, bringing us that cooler, wetter weather, especially to the northern part of the Great Basin. Looking at that upper level pattern on the left-hand image, you can see the drier air across the southern part of the Great Basin with more moisture further north. On our significant fire potential map, all of our zones are either in that green or yellow category. We are expecting gusty winds across much of the area today, but really the only area that will see the alignment of gusty winds and low relative humidities is across the far southern part of the Great Basin. Elsewhere, again, we will see really gusty winds, some of those wind speeds in that 30 to 40 mile an hour range. However, relative humidities will be above critical values. The image on the left is looking at precipitation for today. You can see with that cold front moving through, quite a bit of precipitation is expected across the northern part of the Great Basin with pretty good coverage. Moving to Monday, that low pressure begins to make its way to the eastern part of the area. We begin to see a warming and drying trend across the Great Basin. Winds will be lighter on Monday than what we are expecting to see today, and those relative humidities begin to decrease on Monday. Precipitation will be much less widespread tomorrow, with some lingering precipitation across the central Idaho mountains and into western Wyoming. As we move into Tuesday, looking at high pressure building across the Great Basin, that will continue that warming and drying trend. You can see relative humidities continue to drop into Tuesday, and relatively light winds expected as well. Over the next 3 days, the majority of the precipitation will be connected to that cold front and focused across the northern part of the area. So moving to Wednesday, we start to see another upper low make its way into the Great Basin. We'll see relative humidities increase across the north, and we could see an increase in winds across the northern half of the Great Basin. Moving into Thursday, looks like moisture will begin to increase ahead of that, especially across the southern and southeastern part of the Great Basin. And on Friday, looking at continued increase of moisture across the southern and southeastern part of the areas. And again on Saturday, looking at that area of moisture coverage increasing. In the 7-day period, we are looking at the potential for some additional precipitation across the southern part of the Great Basin as we see that moisture move up from the south later in the period. And finally, in the 14-day outlook, the Climate Prediction Center is calling for an extended period of warm and dry conditions, and that takes us through the beginning of October. So that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Our information is on the screen, and you can also find us on Twitter. Thanks.